I was adult last time we did this, because I was laughing at myself the next day because Deb asked me a very serious question. We were talking about illness. We were talking about going back to school. She said, what would you do if your kid came home with a bug? What would you do? And I talked about this and I talked about that. And you know what I didn't say? I would adjust him. Oh, my goodness. I could have killed myself. I'm like, are you kidding me? Of course.
And what would that have done?
Well, it would release any nervous system interference that's causing his body not to be able to react appropriately and to fight the illness. I always tell him, get adjusted, because that's going to put your body at its optimal position to fight whatever it is that's going on. I mean, our nervous system runs everything. So, of course, if your nervous system has interference or glitches or anything like that, that is going to limit your ability to heal, your ability to adapt to the given situation, your body's ability to run its course of defense mechanisms, which it has a ton of them. And, we don't want to limit that. We want that to be full force. In fact, if it was a war, you'd have to say, I want my army at its optimal.
Right. Bring out the big guns.
So that's what it would have done. And, so I've kind of felt silly. I'm like, oh my gosh. But then Patrick, he always makes me feel better. He goes, well, like, you're a chiropractor. Of course, that's a given. I'm like, well, yeah, that's a given for me, but that's not a given for everybody else out there who's listening to me. So it's a given, okay? From now on, if I fail to mention chiropractic as the first, it's a given. Because that's what we want. We want our body functioning optimally so it can fight the war.
Right. And that may be why you got sick to begin with, that lack of sleep. There's so many things that cause you to be susceptible to getting a virus.
Honestly, I have a theory.
Let's hear it.
I was in a car accident about a month ago. I was hit, rear-ended, ended up, we called the police and everything. Everybody was fine. I knew that I was okay, but I was going to have some muscle sprain, strain. I knew I was going to need some chiropractic care, but I wasn't worried about it because that's my field. So I'm going to go. I'm going to get chiropractic treatment. I'm going to get massage therapy. I'm going to be fine. So I wasn't worried about it. Sure enough, that week was just crazy at my work. I did not get a chance to go get adjusted.
You didn't take care of Dr. Julia.
I did not take care of Dr. Julia. I was my own worst patient and my own worst enemy because I could not move my neck. Now, all of your lymph nodes run through your neck. They run through your head, all the way down your neck. They're the ones clearing out the debris. And here I am, all stiff and tight. My muscles are totally contracted around those lymph nodes. I couldn't move my neck. Therefore, I know my lymph nodes were not able to flow freely. They were being squeezed. Like I set myself up for the perfect storm. Did not get adjusted that first week. And by the way, if anybody ever gets in an auto accident, get to your chiropractor ASAP, as soon as possible. Because you always think, oh, it's going to hurt. But no, you're not tightened up until the second or third day. You need to get there as soon as possible, get things rectified as quickly as possible so that you have the best chance for the fastest healing. All of those things are super important. So here I am going along, week 1, no adjustment. I'm like, oh, I'm dying. So finally I get over to my chiropractor, and she's wonderful by the name. Her name's Sandy Benke. She's wonderful. She's in Bad Axe too. And she adjusts me, and I was like, oh, I feel so much better. Then I went another week and did not get adjusted. I was like, oh, I feel good. I probably don't need, maybe I do need adjusted again. Duh, hello. Like, I'm telling you, I am my own worst patient. I don't know why that is. We healers, we just don't take care of ourselves. We take care of everybody else but ourselves. But anyways, so I go get my second adjustment, and I'm like, I feel better. Within a couple days, I got sick.
Too late, yeah.
Well, and I think what it did was it brought everything to the forefront. Right. And I tell people that sometimes. I'm like, I'll adjust them, and they'll be like, oh, I don't feel too bad, but they need their adjustment. But within a couple days, they get sick. Then I hear about it the next time. After you adjusted me, within a couple days, I was really sick. And I was
well,
like, good.
there was a lot of stuff in there that needed to come out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who wants to fight these little battles every few weeks? I mean, because everybody's felt it. They felt like, oh, I don't feel so great, but then they get over that. And then, oh, I don't feel so great, and then they get over it. And then I don't feel so great. Well, you know what? By golly, you get that good adjustment, and you're going to fight that war, and you're going to be done with it, and you're not going to have to revisit that problem for a long, long time because your body's going to get rid of it. And that's what it needed to do.
And you have to drink a lot of water.
You do. You have to keep those muscles supple. You have to keep the spleen and the lymphatic system moving.
Not cold water.
No, warmer temperature, room temperature, right. And so, all of these things I should have been doing, shoulda, coulda, woulda, and I wasn't.
That's why you always put your own oxygen mask on first.
Thank you, Deb. That is
Yes.
absolutely correct. You have to take care of yourself first. So that is what I decided finally. I reached out to my friend Marilyn. I gave her some woes because I'm telling you, I'm a wimp when I'm sick. That's why God doesn't want me to be sick very often because I am like, nah. And so I call Marilyn or I message Marilyn. She's like, I've got the perfect stuff for you, this, and this. I'm like, well, I'm already taking this, and this. She's like, nope, you need this stuff. But we didn't ever get a hold of each other. But she's still got it for me. She's going to give it to me anyway because it's a hanger-oner. I am no longer in a viral state where I could be contagious to people or anything like that. But I still have this hanging-on congestion, this hanging-on mucus. It's really hard to get rid of this. So, yes, I am going to take the stuff that you have for me, Marilyn, because I really appreciate that. And that's what it's all about. We all help each other. But sometimes I need a little knock in the head. And she gave me a couple good knocks in the head. She kept sending me these messages about taking care of myself. And she was telling me what I needed. And I love that role reversal. And I'm like, darn it. It's just like when my kids come back on me with my own words. Like I taught them too well and they come back and they're like telling me stuff. And I'm like, shoot, that sounds just like me. But what are you going to do? Yell at them about it?
No. That means they listened.
That means they listened. And thank you for being a good patient and listening, honey.
But
We have to boost our immune.
And this must be a heck of a virus because not only are you sick, but you know who else is sick?
Who's sick?
Never sick?
Who's sick?
Our friend Stacy.
Oh, my goodness gracious
I've
alive.
known her for quite a while, and she's never been sick.
Wow.
And she has the same thing that you do.
I didn't give
and
it to
you
her.
know who else?
I didn't give it to her.
You know
I
who
swear.
else was
Who?
sick? And Patrick was here when she got sick. Was Zulika.
Zulika was sick.
She-
She got that from Rand's probably because Rand's had a little version of mine.
No, we were sitting right here, and she got it.
She got that from the other side. Where'd you say?
She got it from the
other side.
That's right.
Aw.
All of a sudden,
We were doing Akashic meditation.
yes, and all of a sudden she started sneezing, and it. I don't think she's still all the way well.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Well, she just got it then.
It just, boom, came on her. Yeah, that's what I thought, too. Maybe there was
She had a
ragweed
vision
or
of horses
something.
or something, so Patrick's telling
Running
us she was
through-
allergic to horses.
Riding through a field. I think it was the ragweed, yes.
What a great class, by the way. I want to give you kudos for that. And you're having it again, aren't you?
October 7th.
October 7th, Akashic Records. Aw. Well, we'll do it again. She'll do
I
it
think
again.
we're going to do it at least every other month, if not every month.
Yeah, and Deb was talking about earlier in the episode, she was talking about we make these contracts with ourselves and with Creator that when we come back in these new lives, these are the things we want to try to accomplish. And that's really the basis of what Akashic Records is all about.
Right.
It's about recording
and
those
she does
things.
it to find... You know, I don't like doing things just for the heck of doing them. I like there to be a purpose in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And she does it to figure out if there's something in this life that maybe like if you have an totally unfounded fear of heights that just is debilitating, that you can maybe discover why. And or a fear of horses.
Right. Or sometimes what we think isn't resolved, it was resolved in prior lifetimes, and we just have not accepted that virtue. that we haven't accepted that, so we replay and replay and replay these issues over and over again in these lifetimes. It's very fascinating.
It really is. And the way that she did it, well, it was very interesting.
What is her name, the
too.
one that ran it?
Mariah. And I wanted her to be, she wasn't in that life, but I know, but you were.
You told me that. I was there. And that's the other thing, that we make contracts not only for ourselves, but we make contracts with others that we will find them. And our souls will connect, and our souls will work on these things together. So a lot of times, it may have been your mother in this lifetime, maybe next lifetime it's going to be your daughter, maybe next lifetime it'd be a best friend. But these people come back to us, and
right.
we go through these things together, and we learn them together,
right.
which is interesting.
And Patrick started doing the looking up of the things that I was saying right when we were sitting here. And so when I got home, I continued the research that he started. Mm-hmm. And they called themselves the First Nation. Everything that I said, right down to the
and this
landscape.
Was your vision.
This was my vision.
Your vision.
Right down to the landscape, the way that it felt, what the building that I was in, everything was spot on.
Will you tell me one thing? Will you repeat one thing?
What?
I love when you describe when she told you to look down at your feet.
Okay. But the thing is, it went back 14,000 years ago.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's twice as old as the Great Pyramids.
Wow.
Older than ancient Rome.
This First Nation.
Yes. This First Nation people. So I'm kind of skeptic, and it was the first time I ever had done it. But I am a meditator, mm-hmm. So I was letting that part go. But then she would say, now you're going down steps. And I'm thinking, yeah, right, okay, here I go down the steps. And I could feel things jumping out at me, but I pushed them away. But I'm thinking, okay, I don't want that one. And I didn't realize that I was really doing the meditation. And I thought I was just being cool, pushing these things away, And then I got to the bottom of the steps, and I'm still like, whatever. And she said, now look down at your feet. And in movies how they do that thing that goes whoosh, and all of a sudden they're someplace else. Mm-hmm. And it's like just instantaneous. And I looked down at my feet, and they weren't my feet. And they were bigger and broader. And I thought, well, those aren't even my feet. And then I wiggled my toes, and they were my feet.
Oh, my goodness.
And they were like goosebumps.
They were like men's feet. They were like big, feet. Like burly, kind of
right. And the first thing I thought, I kind of held it up, and I looked at it and at my skin, and I thought, I wonder what nationality I am. It almost looks Oriental, but... Nah, it's too dark for that, but it has a yellow, and I'm kind of...
But you had a different skin tone.
I did.
Than your normal skin tone.
And so when I was doing the research, it said that the people of this nation came from the Orient and from Alaska.
And so they crossed over the land bridge back in the day.
Exactly.
And migrated down.
Right.
That is so cool.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it was totally amazing. And I was a healer, and I healed you.
Oh, I love you so much.
And your little face looked up at me, and you had those bangs like you do. It was so cute. And you didn't talk or anything. I just fixed your ankle, and you got up and ran away.
Aw, I love that.
It was so cute. And my adopted mother was the only other person I recognized, and she was my mother.
Wow, like your real blood mother
in that
lifetime.
Yes.
Wow, that is pretty fantastic.
Oh, it was. I was crying.
Aw. Like in reality you were crying.
I was sitting here crying.
Yeah.
No,
Patrick.
She's always had it like that.
He says, my bangs, it's time for a new hairstyle.
When we meet up in Egypt, because I'm sure I was there, you're going to be there with those bangs.
I'll be like Cleopatra, lady.
Okay.
I'll be like, I know it. I know
with
it.
some big fancy headdress on.
Yeah.
But, Stacy was in Egypt, and she said that she had a wig on. She was a little girl.
Oh, Oh, I wonder if they wore wigs back then.
And I said, yes, but I didn't know this
I didn't know
at the
that.
time. And I said, how do you know it was a wig? And she said, because I had a gold band around my head that was holding it in place, and I could feel the pressure of that gold band.